Hey everybody, I'm Chris and this is my channel Chesapeake Chris. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is not going to be a fishing video, this video is going to be a little different. A lot of people wonder, and I wonder if any of my viewers and subscribers ever wonder, why do I still have a paddle kayak for fishing? Why don't I have a pedal kayak? Why don't I have a motor mount on it? Yada yada yada. Oh, there's a short story behind that. I bought my kayak, I think in December of 2020, right in the middle of the lockdowns. And at that time, believe it or not, kayaks and bikes were getting hard to find. Everybody was buying kayaks and bikes, it seemed like, because that was the only thing you could do during a lockdown, I guess. But I bought mine. It was only $350. I got it from Walmart, delivered to the house. I've been able to swim since I was probably about 10. I've been on many boats in my life. My father had 3 boats during the time I was living there through the end of high school. I've owned a boat, in fact. But I didn't know if I would like kayak fishing. So I told my wife, I was working at the time, she was working. We were doing good, but I just couldn't justify spending a lot of money on a kayak because I didn't want to try it, not like it, and then have to end up selling it like, a month or 2 later. So that's why I bought the Tamarack Lifetime Pro, which is actually a really good bare bones fishing kayak. It's only 10 feet long, but I'll tell you about that in a little bit too. But anyways, so when I first got it, I spent all winter rigging it out, and then the next summer, I was afraid to go out in it until the water and the air warmed up. I didn't even go out in it until like the end of June, early July. I waited for warm weather, warm water. I was just afraid I was going to fall out or tip over. Once again, wasn't real familiar with kayaks, didn't know how stable it would be. It actually is pretty stable. I don't stand up in it, but that's because I'm old. So I used it, I loved it. I've caught a lot of nice fish out of it, for me at least. I mean, any fish over 20 inches to me is a nice fish. So I've caught a lot of nice fish out of it. So people tell me all the time, they're like, well, you should put a motor on it. Okay, I am never going to put a motor on it. Once again, I told you I used to own a boat. If I wanted a motor, I'd have kept my boat. But if you put a motor on a kayak in Maryland, now you have to license it. You have to pay Maryland. You got to put stickers on it, numbers, all that. Yeah, I don't want any of that junk. Right now, my kayak is what it is. It's not licensed. There's no stickers. There's no nothing. So that's why I don't put a motor on it. Why I don't get a pedal kayak? There's kind of 2 reasons. I mean, I don't really want a 12-footer because I have a 4x8 utility trailer I'm going to mount some PVC on and turn into a kayak trailer. But there's at least 2 places that I launch here on the island that I really like that don't allow trailer parking. So for those launches, I'd still have to be able to throw it in the back of my truck. Well, that's the first reason then. A 10-footer fits in my truck easily. It's light enough for me to haul it in and out without much problem. So that's why I haven't upgraded to a 12-footer. And pretty much the same thing with a pedal kayak. It makes them a lot heavier. The drive unit is heavier. I guess you can lift it in and out. But I'm really torn to get a new kayak anyways because I've had so much fun in my kayak and I've caught so many fish in it over like 3 years now that I'm like emotionally attached to it. It's like when you were 16 and you got your first car and you had it for a couple of years. Yeah, you became like, it was like your baby, right? You were emotionally attached to it. So I really enjoy going out in my kayak. It pretty much does everything I need it to do. I probably wouldn't go out in the middle of the bay even with a 12-footer because we get big boats. And I just don't mean big fishing and pleasure boats. I mean the barges to Baltimore run up and down the Chesapeake Bay. The huge crab boats, the commercial rockfish guys. We get big boats through there. They throw big wakes and I just don't want any part of that. My little 10-footer allows me to get out into water and catch fish that I wouldn't normally be able to catch. Lets me cover a lot of water. If I'm not getting any bites here, I can go somewhere else, So that is why I still, to this day, have a very inexpensive paddle kayak. I guess someday, maybe I'll get a 12-footer. I hate to have 2 kayaks once again. I maybe would almost have to keep the one I have now for when I go to the 2 launches that don't allow trailers. But if anybody was wondering why I have a $350 paddle kayak for fishing and have not upgraded or anything yet, that's the reason why. Okie doke. I don't know if anybody cares about this video or not, but I've had a lot of people ask me about my kayak. I've had a lot of people tell me you need to get a pedal kayak. Well, that's the story on that. So thanks for watching this video. Appreciate everybody watching my videos, and I'll see you on the next video.